Welcome to Disney A to Z. Today we're going to cover 10 different things that you may not know about Walt Disney World. So, as you know, every Disney attraction, and Disney parks for that matter, have a story to tell. And just like a good story, there's always details available for you to notice. Walt Disney himself actually wanted multiple levels of detail in every one of his parks just to help bring those stories together. So today we're going to peel back the surface and shine a spotlight on some of these details that the Imagineers may intentionally or unintentionally left for us to find. Today's focus is Magic Kingdom, so let's get started. Number 1, the Brown Path of Liberty Square. Kudos to the Imagineer for staying true to the time period they're representing. Liberty Square is themed after colonial America. And you know what they didn't have in colonial America? Indoor plumbing. So, with no indoor plumbing, many times people would just take their waste and toss it right out the front window. And after some time, it would all gather towards the center of the street and start running out of town. And the Brown Path of Liberty Square actually represents this little disgusting river of filth. Although I don't know any Imagineer that you meet would actually admit to that. Bonus tip, or bonus secret, because there's no indoor plumbing in colonial America and no indoor restrooms in colonial America, there is also no indoor restrooms in Liberty Square. Closest ones being the Rapunzel restrooms in Fantasyland, or the restrooms in the breezeway between Frontierland and Adventureland. So keep that in mind as well. Number 2, the Immortal Building. So Disney likes to repurpose as much as they can from closed down attractions. Oftentimes you will see animatronics from closed down attractions dressed up and reused either in the thing that replaced it or in an attraction down the road. They'll keep them in storage for a while. But what you may not realize is they do the same things with their show buildings and everything else in the parks. The reason I bring that up is there is this little unassuming building in Tomorrowland. And I say unassuming because I'm pretty sure that 90% of you avoid contact like the plague with these people because it currently houses the DVC sales team. But what you may not know is this building has been around since the beginning of Magic Kingdom. And it's actually, or was actually, a ticket booth. So when Magic Kingdom first opened, you would have to go to little stands like this and purchase tickets because your admission ticket did not include the rides. So you would have to purchase individual tickets for rides, or you can get a group ride pass. Bonus tip, when you purchase these tickets, they were designated A, B, C, D, and E tickets, with the E ticket attractions being the newest or the most popular. Now, that terminology has actually stuck around, and you'll see it if you stay up with current news about theme parks or you see Disney releasing a new ride. A lot of times it will be advertised as an E ticket attraction. That dates all the way back to the beginning of Magic Kingdom and how they designated their ride system. Number 3, Bob Hope. So what does Bob Hope have anything to do with Magic Kingdom? Especially since Bob Hope really never officially worked on any Disney project. But Walt Disney and Bob Hope had great respect for each other and were fairly close friends. So when it came time to open Magic Kingdom, Bob Hope actually gave a speech at the Contemporary, which was used in the 90-minute film The Grand Opening of Walt Disney World. So what does that have to do anything with Magic Kingdom today? So if you go into Adventureland, just off to the left, there is a little merchandise cart called Bwana Bob. This cart is named after Bob Hope, with Bwana in African meaning boss or master. So this cart is literally called Boss Bob's. And to further tie in the Bob Hope link here, Bob Hope back in the 60s starred in a film calling Call Me Bwana. So every little thing in Disney, even down to the names of things, always has a meaning behind it. In this case, Disney's respect and friendship with Bob Hope earned him a merchandise cart in Adventureland. Number 4, The Boss's Office. Now, this is probably one of my single most favorite Easter eggs of Magic Kingdom. As many people know, that Walt Disney passed away a few years before Magic Kingdom opened, so he never got to step foot in Magic Kingdom and see it come to life. So the Imagineers really wanted to do something to honor Walt Disney and the legacy he left behind, and what he wanted to accomplish in life. So they gave Walt Disney his own office on Main Street. And I'm sure 90% of you walk right past it. You never even notice it. But it's right at the end of Main Street, right before you get to the hub, on the right hand side, just above the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. And they chose this specific location for the reason that it has the best view of the hub, and more importantly, the best view of Cinderella Castle. So even posthumously, Walt Disney will have an eternal view of one of the greatest Disney creations, Cinderella Castle. And I hope he's looking down and he's happy with what they've done. Number 5, The Circus Came to Town. Now, this is more of a blink and you'll miss it. Super easy to glance right over and not even notice. But back in Storybook Circus area of Fantasyland, if you look down, you're going to see the footprints of all of the circus animals that have come in to put on the Storybook Circus. Most notably are the elephant footprints from Mrs. Jumbo and Dumbo himself, and even more so, right outside of the Dumbo attraction, there are actually peanuts embedded into the ground. Just one of those next level details that that again, you blink and you'll miss it. But I'll even take this a step further. If you notice in this area, there's cracks in the pavement, and this has to be intentional. Nowhere else on Disney property are you going to see cracks in the pavement like this, but this is there to represent just a hometown street that has been wear and tear and used for so long that it has actually started forming cracks along the main walkways. Disney Imagineers aren't going to just let pavement go to the point that it's cracking if it wasn't intentional. So next time you're in Storybook Circus, take a look and see what kind of animal footprints you can find. Number 6, The Birth of Epcot. Now, yeah, I know this is a video about the secrets of Magic Kingdom, but you'll find a secret relating to the birth of Epcot right here at Magic Kingdom. If you didn't know, Walt Disney had a different idea for Epcot. Epcot was never supposed to be a theme park. Epcot was actually supposed to be an actual working city. And Walt was a very futuristic man, so the city was going to be very centered on new technology and what the future may bring. But at the same time, Walt Disney was also very interested in different cultures around the world. So the city was going to have a large area dedicated to the international community. So once he passed away and the idea for Epcot was left to those that remain, the Imagineers, they had to make a difficult decision on which way they wanted to progress with this. So the idea went through several iterations before they decided to make it a theme park. And the ideas of the futuristic and the international community, that's why we have the two distinct areas of Epcot that we do today. So what does all this have to do with Magic Kingdom? So the original model for the city that Walt envisioned is actually on display at Magic Kingdom. If you're on the People Mover, right as you're going to, or right after you enter the building that formerly housed Stitch's Great Escape, on the left hand side, you are going to pass the model which has been dubbed Progress City, but this was the original model of the city that Walt wanted to build, called Epcot. Number 7, the death of Mr. Toad. Rest in peace, Mr. Toad. So, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was an opening day Magic Kingdom attraction and stayed open more than 25 years until it closed in 1998 to be rethemed to the adventures of Winnie the Pooh. There's actually a nice little nod in ride to this transition. There's a picture of Mr. Toad handing the deed over to Al for the property. And so it was a nice little send off for Mr. Toad. But that's not where the story ends. Something happened afterward, something fatal, because Mr. Toad has a new permanent residence in the pet cemetery of Haunted Mansion. Now, honestly, it's a tad dark for a Disney Easter egg, but Mr. Toad is there in the pet cemetery. Don't know how he perished or why, but that is now his eternal resting spot, and maybe he's one of the 999 happy haunts. Number 8. It's how big? So we all know the comparisons between Sleeping Beauty Castle and Cinderella Castle. And if you look at the two of them, you might be led to believe that Cinderella Castle's 3, 4, 5 times bigger than Sleeping Beauty Castle. The truth is that Cinderella Castle stands at only 189 feet tall. But so in perspective, if you think about it from walking down Main Street toward the castle keeps getting bigger and bigger until you're standing right in front of it and you look up. It's easy to believe that castle might be 250, 300 feet, even more. The Imagineers use some architectural tricks to make it look larger than what it is. And we actually cover this more in depth in our video, Secrets of Cinderella Castle. But the reason why it stands the way it is the Federal Aviation Administration actually requires that any buildings that are 200 feet or taller to have a blinking red light at the top as an aircraft warning. So Disney did not want to have its main park icon to have a blinking light at the top, so they capped the height at 189 feet, and the rest is history. Number 9. Call the fire department. Did you know that Disney or Magic Kingdom has its own fire department? And I'm not just talking about the Reedy Creek Fire Department, or District Fire Department as is known now, but there's an actual in-show fire department on Main Street. Now I know most people, once they enter the park, will make a beeline right down Main Street and you miss all kinds of great details. But for those that do take the time, when you enter Magic Kingdom, off on the left-hand side, there's a fire department. And if you get up close, you'll find that it is Engine Company number 71. Now, this actually has a bit of meaning to it. 71 represents 1971, the year that Magic Kingdom opened. And if you pay attention and look throughout the park, you're going to see the number 71 pop up all over the place. The Imagineers like to hide that in as much as they can as a nod to what has come before. So next time you're on Main Street, slow down, look around. It's amazing the details that you're going to pick up. Number 10, there's gold in them there hills. So it's pretty standard that almost every theme park or amusement park across the country has some sort of mine train roller coaster. So what makes Disney's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad any different from all these other mine train coasters? The difference is the Disney storytelling. And before I I have a much greater appreciation for Big Thunder Mountain after knowing the backstory. So the backstory to Big Thunder Mountain is that Barnabas T. Bullion owned the Big Thunder Mountain mining company. And so they're mining this mountain, and he's greedy. We're digging deeper. The mine workers are starting to notice supernatural and strange things going on, but it doesn't stop Mr. Barnabas Bullion from just wanting more and more. And he keeps pushing until some supernatural, crazy, mysterious flash flood wipes out the entire town where all the miners work. So now the mine carts are zipping in and out of the mountain, being propelled only by the mysterious forces that are protecting the mountain. So it's just a nice little backstory of why Big Thunder Mountain is the way it is, and once you know it, it definitely gives you another level of appreciation for the ride. And every ride like that is like that in Disney, and we'll cover some more of those later. So that's all for today. I hope you had fun, and more importantly, I hope you learned something new about the most magical place on Earth. If you have a favorite Disney Easter egg and want to share, drop it in the comments, and we'll try and include it on the next Disney Secrets video. But thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed, do me a favor, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that you have access and are notified every time we post a new video. But again, thank you for spending your time with me today, and we'll see you real soon.